Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to teach you everything that you need to know about how the UK basically wants us to stay broke, to stay poor, to stay working over 80 hours a week without any financial return whatsoever for ourselves. And I'm going to tell you then at the end of the video what we should all be doing instead. So you're going to know how the system is purposely made to keep you and I broke, keep you and I poor, to keep you and I living hand to mouth, living, you know, just relying on food banks. So basically, if you're a returning subscriber, you're welcome back to the channel. It's beautiful to have you here. Thank you very much for watching the video. And again, if you're new, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification button so that you're the first to be notified when I drop another video. And look, if you've clicked on this video, then you're interested in content like this, there's more coming. So just make sure that you subscribe, hit the notification button, and you'll be able to watch even more videos that will make you not only financially literate, but it will make you, if like me, you're keen on, retiring early, retiring wealthy and early to live a good life so that we're not working, on Zimmer frames when we're 80 years old, then you're in the right place. So basically, what I've realized is that in my 11 years here in the UK, the way the system is made is purposely built to keep people broke, keep people poor, to keep people just relying on food banks. So how does it work? So you've got three classes of people. You've got the top 10% who are the people that are very, very wealthy. Then you've got the bottom 10% who are the people that are basically poor. And you've got the middle 80%. And look, that's you and I. We are the middle 80%. If you want to call us, you can call us the middle class, or you can call us the working class. So we are the ones that actually think that we're wealthy, we're comfortable. But look, we are in the worst position than the top 10% and the bottom 10%. So how does it work? So basically, the people that are in the top 10%, they are the wealthiest people in this country. These people don't actually work. They're entrepreneurs, or, they're just heresies from all different, properties and things like that. So they are not actually working like you and I are doing. And then you've got the bottom 10%. These people generally are also likely not working. And so who is a person that is catering and sponsoring the lifestyle that these people have? So the top 10%, because they own businesses, they own property, they own land, they're entrepreneurs, they are, in such a good position. And in fact, talking about entrepreneurship, since COVID, even though COVID has been a catastrophe when it comes to finances, for the wealthiest 10%, it has been the best time in their history. If you look at the wealthiest people on earth during COVID, they have tripled and quadrupled their wealth basically. And why is that? It's because as there's a recession, as the people are struggling more, basically, prices are going up, house prices have gone up, bills have gone up, everything is skyrocketing. You and I are working to pay all these things, and all of that money still is going to the top 10% of people, which means that even though there's a crisis, there's a recession, they are getting wealthier. There are now more billionaires on earth than there's ever been. And the wealthiest people, if somebody was worth 1 billion before COVID, right now they're probably worth 10 billion. If somebody was worth, 100 million, they're probably worth 2 billion right now. So basically, there's a lot that we need to learn. Those of us that are on the working class, you need to be thinking about how to invest. We need to be thinking about the things that we're not being taught in school. For example, liabilities, assets, what's the difference? What's an asset? What's a liability? What's compound interest? And this is something that as a nurse myself, I've taken a lot of interest in entrepreneurship. Why did I do that? I'm going to tell you, is because I realized that once I was a qualified nurse and I was working the first 2 or 3 years in my nursing journey, I decided I was going to be saving money. So for 3 years, I worked incredibly hard. I did extra shifts. I worked 5 shifts every single week to save money. I saved over £20,000 in the bank. And at the end of the year, I got a text message from my bank saying I had had an interest of £58. And so I sat down and I said to myself, if I have worked so hard for 3 solid years to save money, you know, I've only saved like over £20,000. So if I have an interest of £58, how much do I have to save to have a reasonable amount of money to be able to retire or to live on? And from that time, my friend, I learned that working hard to save money was not the best option for me. It wasn't the best option. It wasn't going to work because you and I are taught that education is good for us. We need to study hard. We need to have good grades. We need to earn more money. We need to progress in our careers. We need to be good citizens. We need to follow the rules and follow laws and all these different things so that we can become better. It just doesn't work. If you're part of the middle class like myself or the working class, part of that 80%, you need to do something different to be able to change your circumstances. Just working hard and saving money isn't going to work. So if you're watching this and you're thinking, oh, saving money is good, well, I'm telling you that you need to be having a plan B, which is investing money. Because land, property, real estate, that is where the money is. Business, you need to start a business. And I can tell you that the ultimate end and aim of any business is that you make enough money to be able to reinvest it in real estate. And I'm going to tell you the power of real estate. So I bought my house about 3 years ago. So I'm a house owner in the UK. And basically, what I've noticed is that since COVID, I'm getting so many letters through the post offering me loans, and in the last few months, I've had even more letters. Every day, I get a letter from a particular institution, random lenders. I don't know who these people are. I've never actually applied for a loan. And I'm thinking to myself, why do I keep getting these letters, offering me loans that I haven't actually asked for? In fact, you may be thinking, Melvis, they're offering you a loan. Surely that's a good thing. But no, it isn't, because I'm somebody who checks the fine print. I'm somebody who reads the T's and C's. I don't just sign, things because I've seen them. Because I know that if something is such a good idea, surely a financial institution is not just going to contact you and say, hi, Melvis, we're just going to give you £10,000. It doesn't work because they are looking for money. They're looking for interest. They are the people that are in the top 10%. Those are the people. And I can tell you that they are not giving anything to anybody for free. So I decided yesterday that I was going to get to the bottom of this. So what I did was I took one of those letters and I decided I was going to ring that institution to find out exactly what this was about. And I rang them and I said to them, look, this is who I am. I've received so many letters from yourselves offering me this loan. What is this about? Where did you get my details? Because I was thinking to myself, I've never actually applied for a loan from these people, or from anybody for that matter. How did they get all my details? They've got my house address, they've got my names, every single information these people have of me. And they said to me, oh, it's because, we realized, that, oh, you're a house owner, so we thought you may benefit from this loan. And I was like, how do you mean I'm a house owner? What does that got to do with me wanting a loan from yourselves and you sending me this, this all the time? So I'm receiving letters to my house every day. Basically, the long story short is that they want my house. Because what happens is these people know that value lies in property, value lies in real estate, value lies in land, owning assets. It's not the physical, because the money that they're going to give me as a loan is just digits. It's not even their money. It's just digits that will come into my account and it's like, oh, you've got £5,000. But for me, they know that with the recession, being a nurse and hearing that nurses are using food banks, I'm unlikely probably to pay that money. And because I own a house, as I'm unlikely to pay the money, what's going to happen? They'll take my house because I've got collateral. So what happened after that phone call was that I decided to ring my financial advisor, because I do have a financial advisor. Because to be honest, in the last 12 months, I have spent over £10,000 on coaching and mentorship programs just to get myself financially ready so that I can get into entrepreneurship. I can be able to get that financial freedom that I'm currently working towards. Because look, that's the aim. Because with the way the world is going, to get out of that middle class that I was talking about, out of that 8%, you need to have a business. You need to be an entrepreneur. There's no other way. And by the way, if you're still watching this and you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button, so that notification button, so that by the time I drop more videos about this content, about this subject matter, you're going to be ready. And it's not only going to help me, but it's going to help you as well, so that you can get that financial knowledge that you need in order to build assets, in order to build wealth, in order to be, to get out of that chain that is holding all of us in the UK who are working 60, 70, 80 hours every week, retiring broke, because I'm telling you that majority of people in this country are going to die broke. It's not because they haven't worked hard, it's because by the time you get here, it's like, oh, lots of opportunities, but if you're not careful, if you don't make the most of those opportunities to start a business, get into entrepreneurship, get yourself the financial knowledge that you need, look, you're going to die and retire broke. I'm telling you now. So you don't want that to happen. You want to be able to retire early when you haven't yet got arthritis, your bones, are not twiggling yet, and you still have the energy to travel the world. You have the energy to spend time with your loved ones. You have the energy to spend time with your family. You have the energy to just live life rather than just work 70, 80, 90 hours a week and die broke. So let me tell you, when I rang the financial advisor, I said to him, I keep getting these letters. What really is going on? What can you say? What is happening? And he said to me, Melvis, is because you own a house. Because you own a house, that is good collateral. They know that with COVID and with everything going on, you're probably unlikely to be able to pay this loan back, which means that they'll take your house. And I was like, okay, I was just like, okay, that's fine. And that's because owning assets, owning property, starting a business is what you need. I'm telling you. Yes, you need to have your foot in a career to be able to build up and start from somewhere. Of course you do. But your ultimate aim should be that you progress in your career. From there, you have enough time to work fewer hours. Because look, they say that time is money. No, at first, I used to think that money was more important than time. But actually, right now, I realize that time is more important than money. If you're working 60, 70, 80 hours a week, you're not going to have time that you can invest in an entrepreneurial venture. When you don't have that time, you're going to remain in that middle class. You're going to remain in that middle 80% that are going to work hard and get nowhere. Nobody's teaching us about compound interest. Nobody's teaching children in school about assets. Nobody's teaching children about wealth. Nobody is teaching children about how to start a successful business. Nobody's teaching any of those things. And by the way, if you're part of my coaching and mentorship program that I currently have for nurses, carers, student nurses in the UK, there is part of the program that deals with, entrepreneurship, helping you to start and set up your own successful business. It's not only about, career progression. Yes, there's career progression, but the ultimate aim is that as we're progressing in our careers, we're going to get to that stage where we start our own businesses, set up our own businesses. And it's just amazing because we've had some of our members who've been able to set up various businesses right now. There's one of the members that is working on setting up her store over on Amazon. She's already making about £700 in interest every single month from that. Another nurse is setting up her own domiciliary care company. So it's about exploring what opportunities there are. As you're progressing in your career, it's going to give you room to have more time so that you're earning more money from your job, but you're not using your extra hours to work more shifts as a nurse, because you're only going to end up in food banks. The current data and research is saying that more nurses are using food banks than ever before. How can you be a nurse? You're offering a service that is so vital. You're supporting people to grow in a time where there's been COVID and the need for healthcare professionals is just immense. But yet, nurses are going to work supporting their patients from work. They're going to food banks to get free food because they cannot afford food. In a country like the UK, food, nurses are unable to afford food. And that's why I'm saying that if you're watching this is a revolution. You need to make sure that you change things for yourself. And the only way to change things is getting into entrepreneurship. So once you focus on that career progression, this is now the solution I'm giving you. First, career progression, because it's difficult to just start a business from nothing. And it also helps you if you're progressing, at least you have one leg within the system. You learn more, you get to have those interactions, those networks, you meet other people who are also better off, and you can discuss, you can bounce ideas. That helps. That's why career progression helps. And also the skills that you're learning from your career progression are going to help you to manage your business. So it's not only the fact that you're progressing and that you're earning more, it's the fact that the skills that you're learning from your job are going to help you to manage your business as well, like leadership skills. So transferable skills, you need to use them from your job to implement it in your own personal life to start and successfully manage your own business, because that is the only way. Otherwise, the system is set up to keep you and I poor, to keep you and I broke, to keep you and I living hand to mouth, but we will not accept that. So if you're part of this coaching and mentorship program, obviously we can talk about assets, we can talk about the best businesses to start now in 2022. Whether online, you don't need to be out of employment to do that. You can still be working while at the background you're setting up your business, because it takes time for the business to start flourishing, for the business to start making any money. And look, I'm going to tell you one thing. The best thing about having your own business is that if you make any money out of the business, or once you get to that stage where you're making money from your business, you can then just reinvest the money back into the business. And by so doing, you're actually not going to be paying taxes because your business has made no money. And that's why you see that all these rich people, the wealthy people, they don't actually pay any tax, or they barely pay any tax. And that's because if you take your money from your business, reinvest it back into the business, technically the business has made no money. But when you look at my pay as a nurse, when you look at how much I'm paying in taxes, 30% of my pay is going to go to taxes. The other percentage that is left, it's not even like I'm going to spend it. I won't, because by the time you pay your rents, you pay your mortgage, you pay your bills, you pay your council tax, your TV license, every single thing, the money is gone. The money is gone. You've got nothing left. And you have no control over that money. How much money comes out of my pay slip every month, I've got no control over it. But if I run a business, you are in control of your business. You are in charge when you run a business. You can say, I've made 1,000 this year for my business. I'm going to reinvest it. It could be in just, supporting yourself as the business owner. It could be in getting equipment for your business. It could be in, just investing in other business ventures. But the truth is that you are more in control when you do that. And I can assure you that, yes, it takes time for the business to succeed, but it is well worth it. So your plan should be, first, you're going to have that career, try to grow, and you don't need to take the entire career, because if you're trying to grow in your career and you're taking 20, 30, 40 years, by the time you get there, it's going to be retirement age and you're still going to be broke anyway. So you need to do that as soon as possible, as soon as you can get this information. Make sure that you're applying the information, because nobody's going to teach you about financial literacy. This is something that I'm so incredibly passionate about, because I have experienced, like I said, my first 3 years as a nurse, I was only working to save money, because I always knew that working and saving money is the best way to become rich. I don't know, but that's what I thought. I thought I need to be saving money. But look, it doesn't work. It does not work. If you're just working to save money, it does not work, because I had over £20,000, which for me was a lot of money. But the bank gave me 50 something pounds as interest. If I went to the bank to take 25,000 as a loan, would the interest only be £58? I don't think so. I'll pay a lot more in interest. But if I'm saying this, to me, said that saving money is not the best way. And this is one of the things that made me begin to gain interest in entrepreneurship. It made me begin to gain interest in investing. What are the investment opportunities out there? And so it's about going out there, looking for that information. And look, this channel, I'm going to be bringing you a lot of information about entrepreneurship, not just career progression, but career progression and then the next stage of it, which is entrepreneurship. Yes, you grow in your career, but then the next stage is that you want to start a business. As the business is growing while you're working, that's the ideal thing. As the business begins to be more successful, you can then focus on your business so that eventually you can invest in more real estate. Because look, all these wealthy people, that's what they want. I was watching a documentary about Bill Gates the other day, and they said that Bill Gates owns the highest, amount of land in the US, and that's what he's doing now. He is literally just buying the whole of the country. He's buying land everywhere, because that is the future. That is where the future is, real estate, investing in that, because rents are going up. Rents are going up. mortgage payments are going up, house prices are going up, which means that if you're a house owner like myself, you're going to get targeted by these financial institutions. They're not targeting you because they're trying to help you. They're targeting you because they're trying to take your house. Because they know that as a nurse, as when they're saying on the news that nurses are using food banks, they can see that. They're like, oh, if this person is a nurse and they own a house, surely if we give them a loan of £5,000 with a 55% interest. If you give somebody a loan with 55% interest, how much are they going to pay back? This particular company that I spoke to yesterday, that is how much interest they had in their terms and conditions. So they were offering me £5,000, a loan for £5,000, and I would pay back 55% interest. And then imagine what will happen if I actually miss the payments. My house is gone. So what that tells me is actually I should be doing more so that I can invest in property. I can invest in real estate because that is where the money is. That's where the future is. So if you want to retire early, you don't want to work till you drop dead. You don't want to work until you're on a Zimmer frame and nobody knows who the patient is and who the nurse is, for example. Then you should be thinking twice, because the system in the UK, the financial system, is a capitalist system. It's meant to keep you and I poor so that we're constantly working hand to mouth, feeding the top 10% and the bottom 10%. We need a change. We need a change. And that's why in this channel, I'm going to be bringing you all the information that you need. So do make sure that you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button so you're the first to be notified every single time that a new video is dropped. And look, entrepreneurship, I can tell you, is something that it's absolutely amazing when you know that. By the way, it's a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of work. But the good thing is that you're working for yourself. You're working in your business. You're working for your business. It is a different thing. It is a different sort of satisfaction, because you know that once your business continues to grow, yes, slowly, but that's fine. As a business is growing slowly, you are also growing with your business, and you have the potential, especially if you can start early. The earlier you start, the better as well. Once you get this information, leave any comments below. If there's any questions that you have, drop them below. I'll make sure I reply to all the comments. If you've got any ideas, any video requests that you want regarding entrepreneurship or career progression, drop them in the comment section, because look, this is a revolution. It's 2022. We cannot continue to stay in the middle class. We cannot continue to stay as working class for our entire lives, suffering, living hand to mouth, going to food banks. Talking about food banks, I had a colleague who rang me and said, Melvis, a nurse was called out because she stole food on the ward. A nurse who is caring for patients was called out because she stole food. You know what that means? She stole food. And this nurse was so tough. She said to me, Melvis, let's start a food bank on the ward. And I was like, how do we do a food bank on the ward? And she said, no, because this nurse on my ward, had to be spoken to because she stole food. Food. And when they say food, it could be biscuits, apples, whatever, it was. This is a nurse who is supporting people at a crucial point in their lives. So if you want to get out of this situation, if you're watching this and you've been struggling financially, look, it's about learning compound interest, assets, liabilities. You need to get financial literacy. It's incredibly important. Yes, it does take time. Yes, it's not a quick fix. Yes, it's not, a one-time thing that you're just going to do and then money automatically appears. It isn't. But it is worth the journey. It is worth making the commitment. I made the commitment 2 years ago to start my entrepreneurial journey, and I can tell you that it is well worth it. I'm beginning to see the value. I'm beginning to see the outcome. I'm beginning to see the fruits of that, and I only need to dedicate more time to growing that business, to growing that entrepreneurial venture, improving and increasing my financial knowledge, financial literacy, ensuring that we pass on to our children that knowledge that we have, and not rely on them going to university to be taught how to become employed and remain in the middle class, die broke and poor, basically. So we don't want to be doing that. So subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button, and just make sure that you are applying this information. You're checking out the videos that I'm going to be dropping, all about the best businesses to start, how to start those businesses, what's going on, do you need any capital, do you not? So just make sure that, you know, you drop any questions, comments in the comment section, and I'm going to be down in that comment section to reply to all messages and to make sure that we are taking this revolution together. We are going through this journey together. Watch more videos. See you in the next video.